This is your host, Leah Richeimer. I have kind of like a little bit of a sad story, like a weird story, but it's got a point at the end, but I just want to touch you. So a friend of mine was driving whatever, and she kind of backed into a driveway to turn around, so she kind of went like that and like that. But when she went like that, her car went like that on the driveway. She didn't see and she banged into the car that was already in the driveway. She's like, that didn't just happen. Like, really? Like, really? So, she pulled out, she kind of, or parked there or whatever, and she went and she knocked on the door. And to tell the lady, oh, I kind of banged the back of your car a little bit when, I was just trying to turn around or whatever. I'm really sorry, but I'll take care of it. Don't worry, no worries. And so the woman was, kind of an elderly woman, and she came out, she looked a little upset or whatever, and she came out, and the woman's like, don't worry, there's nothing to worry about. I'll take care of it. I'm here. I could have just driven off. I'm here. I'm going to take care of you. So the woman looked at it and she says, oh, I see. Well, and she said, listen, my friend said, I have a place you can go. You can get it done anywhere, whatever, but I have a place, you can go here. And she said, okay, fine. I'll try your guy. If he's reasonable, then, and you want it fixed there, that's fine. You're going to pay for it. I don't know whether it was insurance, non-insurance, whatever. Fine. So they got to talking, and she was getting her contact information. And the woman, she said, where do you live? And she says, well, I've lived here for the last 30 years, but I actually have been thinking I'm so done with cooking. And I'm so done, with having with the gardener and all the bills and everything like that. I think it's really time now. My husband died a bunch of years ago. I think it's time for me to move into assisted living. And my friend had just gone through that whole process with both her parents. And she was an expert on that neighborhood and what all the assistant living facilities are, and where they, which ones are the good ones, which ones are the bad ones, which ones are the, all the ins and outs and subtleties. So they got to talking a little bit about. My friend didn't say anything to her yet, because, she was a little bit in a rush to get some or whatever. She thought, she gave the lady the number of where to bring the car, and she thought to herself, you know what? I'm going to take this project on. I'm going to think about. Sorry, she didn't make a commitment in her mind, but she said, because then she'd be obligated. But she said, I'm going to take this lady. I'm thinking about taking this lady on as my chesed project, as my kindness project. She doesn't know. I can really walk her through the steps. And it was just kind of a fleeting thought that she had. Fine. The lady brings the car in to my friend's car mechanic, and she gets a call later that day from her mechanic, who she'd known for a couple of decades, a long time. And the mechanic says, hi, my friend, let's call her Sally. Hi, Sally. Listen, she brought the car in. There were 2 dents that you created. That's going to be about, $400. Sorry about that. But, she went around the car pointing out like 6 other places that she said you are responsible for. And I know that they're not from that bump. The car can't hit in so many weird places with all these other bumps. And on top of that, a bump that is brand new, the paint is kind of chipped off. A bump that's been there for a while has a little bit of rusting on it. Sometimes you can see it, sometimes you can't. I can tell. So there were 6 bumps there that she's claiming you did that you didn't do. So my friend was kind of frozen, whoa. He said, listen, I'll do you a favor. I'll clean up all of the car for $550. It'll cost you an extra $150, or you can argue with this lady. It's your choice. So Sally, she was so pained by this little old lady trying to steal money from her. She paid the $550, and she walked. She didn't help the lady. The lady is in a terrible situation. She's a widow. I mean, maybe, I don't know if my friend should have asked, a rabbi whether she should help her anyway, even though she stole from her. But my friend said, my heart's not in it. I can't. I just can't. I couldn't do it. I couldn't help her. I felt like violated by what she did. And I couldn't help her with a good heart. And so I just walked. So why am I telling this story in the Marriage Minute? So often we are trying to get away with stuff and, fudging here and fudging there. I myself do it It's part of human nature. We're almost driven. Like that lady, I feel sorry for her or whatever. She could have gone to the lady, knocked on her door and said, listen, I felt really bad that you pointed out all these other things. Maybe there was a misunderstanding. Maybe maybe the mechanic made up that she had said all these other things. I mean, who knows? Although she'd had a long relationship with him. But, if she had confronted her and said, I felt really badly because I hit you and you said all these other things, and now he wants to charge me an extra $150. Do you, and let her speak. Maybe say, oh, I'm sorry, I got confused. Maybe she's got dementia. Who knows? I'm sorry, I got confused, and I didn't realize if it's only those two things. Please, I'll feel terrible to charge you for the other things. She didn't take the time to do that, and meanwhile, she just took her marbles and went home and left this lady who, again, if she had asked her Rav, the Rav would say, help her anyway. The poor thing. She doesn't have a place to live. She doesn't know where to turn. She didn't, her husband's gone. Help her. It could be. But we do the same thing with our husbands, which is like he asks us to do something and we misunderstand and we whatever, and we just go with it. And then we withhold our love for them. We withhold our care from them. So just watch how your mind just shuts down. And when it does, try and open it up and think of how can I connect with this person.